It's time to run the point.
Before we get to that, meaning 5 down flex, hit us up right now, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Let us know here, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max with Jay Williams and Freddie Coleman. Which superstar needs Kevin Durant? If he's a Batman and Kevin Durant can be a Robin or vice versa, let us know which superstar right now needs Kevin Durant on his team at 888-729-3776.
We can't call Kevin Durant Robin.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not. That's why I'm not doing that.
That's why I put it out there as a disclaimer.
He can't be Robin.
Exactly. So
that dude ain't no Robin.
He's no Robin. He's not part of the Justice League. He is the leader.
Yes.
Of the Justice League. So yeah, let us know what superstar needs him right now that's going to make this work for Kevin Durant and that superstar, 888-729-3776. But now let's do a little 5 down flex, although as Jay Will said, there's no such play basketball as a 5 down flex. It's always about running the point.
Let's get to number 1.
Number 1.
What is Minnesota doing? I know what the analytics say, but get the hell out of here. Analytics, let me tell you what your future franchise player said, Anthony Edwards. To me, the best rim protector in the league is Porzingis. Anytime I go against Porzingis, I don't get no layups. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't get why we couldn't finish on Rudy Gobert. He don't put fear in my heart, end quote. So now what we're saying is we're going back to 90s basketball. We have Rudy Gobert, who is coming off a 4-year deal, $224 million. We have Karl Anthony Towns, who just signed a Supermax. But Rudy Gobert can't be on the court at the end of a ball game. He got exposed. Did we just watch Utah? And I love Karl Anthony Towns. St. Joe's, one of St. Joe's finest in New Jersey, where I'm from, same high school.
Look at you.
But look at that front court. It looks intimidating, but is that going to work in a league that is so versatile with guards that can space you out? We'll see, Minnesota. What are we doing? Next up.
Number 2.
I came on this show the day after Boston lost, and I said, look, I'm not saying I would trade Marcus Smart, but I called my boy Alan Yates. We were on the phone watching Game 5 of the NBA Finals. I'm like, they're just missing somebody to control this team. No, Jason Tatum, you go over here. No, Jaylen Brown, slow your tail down. Stop driving into triple teams. Let's get a good set. And no, Marcus Smart, you just be a pit bull. You go out, you defend. You make corner threes. That is Malcolm Brogdon. They made a move. Brad Stevens, a guy who was a head coach a year ago, now said is no longer the head coach. Now you got Ime Udoka, right? Big-time head coach in that position. Brad Stevens overseeing the team, and they made the move to get Malcolm Brogdon. I think it's a missing piece without giving up any assets. They are by far the favorite in the Eastern Conference next season.
Number 3.
I mean, I don't know if y'all saw, I know Puffy, I've been down to it before down in Atlanta. He used to have these all-white parties. Oh, my God. It was a different world, Freddie. I was young. I was out there. It was different. Now, I'm going to tell you why I said all-white parties. Michael Rubin, the guy who was part owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, has now removed his ownership piece away from them through a party at this crazy house that he always has in the Hamptons, the all-white party. And I'm talking about everybody was there. Really? I'm talking about Meek Mill. I'm talking about Drake. I'm talking about Hove. I'm talking about Kendall Jenner. I'm talking about everybody was there. Same with Joel Embiid, same with James Harden, and same with P.J. Tucker. I'm just trying to tell you, P.J. Tucker, when he was on the Milwaukee Bucks, won a championship. Good enough, so bad, they beat Miami. Pat Riley went out, got P.J. Tucker. Miami turn around, they beat Philly. What did Philly go out and do? Joel Embiid came after the game was over. It's like, look, the difference maker was P.J. Tucker. They got P.J. Tucker. I really do believe that he is one of the missing links. Him, Tyrese Maxey, what they have, that core with James Harden, who's going to take less money, with Joel Embiid. I like the way Philadelphia's ponying up, getting ready to compete in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Number 4.
I call my boys Jesse Itzler. Shout out to you, Jesse Itzler, one of the owners of the Atlanta Hawks. And I got to tell you, DeJounte Murray, I think they're about to unlock Trae Young. Now,
even more than we've already seen?
Yes, because now you're not going to have Trae Young being tired at the end of ball games. Now, he's still going to get targeted defensively from time to time. But DeJounte Murray led the league in steals. Super athletic, long, good playmaker. These two have experience playing together in USA basketball. And he said it. He didn't want to be anywhere else. He didn't want to be in San Antonio. He didn't want to be a New York Knick. He wanted to be in Atlanta with Trae Young. I really do believe this is one of the best backcourts we have in the game of basketball. DeJounte Murray and Trae Young together. You can mark that one down.
Okay.
Number
Last up.
5.
I mean, we still have the biggest moves yet to be made.
Yes.
We have KD.
Right.
We have Kyrie.
Uh-huh.
You got to think, with what Danny Ainge in Utah got for Rudy Gobert,
Sure.
5 first-round picks, 4 players, I mean, what are they going to do with Donovan Mitchell?
He ain't saying there.
He ain't saying there, so what are they going to get for Donovan Mitchell? He's on the board. You got DeAndre Ayton for the Phoenix Suns is on the board. What are they going to do there? I think at the end of the day, they may end up keeping him.
Right.
We'll see. You got Colin Sexton. You got other pieces. You got Miles Bridges, who had a little, an incident with the police.
Internet, you're being kind.
Well, you can. That'll be your job.
Just Google Miles Bridges, and by the way, you're welcome in terms of information.
I mean, he's
I'll
probably
leave it
not
there.
going to be an unrestricted free agent. It's like, yo, Charlotte, man. What's Charlotte? Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, you couldn't have
Miles
foreseen
Bridges.
that, though. Yeah, you couldn't have foreseen
But there's a
that.
lot going on in Charlotte, man. It's
And not good.
And it was all trending in the right direction. All of a sudden, boom.
Yeah. So what did Kenny Atkinson know by turning down
Yeah,
that
know
job
something.
to stay with Golden State?
Had to know something so much that they brought Steve Clifford back.
Right.
Oh, we're going to look for somebody different.
Yeah.
But now we need you to come back.
Yeah, to try to stabilize that organization. You know what the best part about you running the point? By the way, he's Jay Williams and Freddie Coleman on Keyshawn, J. Will and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. Not one mention of Jalen Brunson going to the New York Knicks, because I don't know if I'm still sold on that idea.
I mean, look, I am happy for Jalen. He got overpaid.
Absolutely.
He got overpaid, and the
I'm
market
not
dictated
disrespecting
that.
anybody's money. You're right.
People are going to be fixated on the price tag, and I understand that, right?
Yeah.
But I like what he brings culture-wise to a team, man. I do.
He's a quality guy.
I still think people can say, well, they could make different moves in the draft, get younger, continue to accumulate more assets. But I think from a workman-like perspective, what he brings to the table on a day-in, day-out basis is going to be critical for that franchise.
Because what you need right now, there's certain franchises in certain cities that they don't want to hear the word rebuild. And if the New York Knicks had done something, people said you should have stayed with that pick where they were in the NBA draft. They decided, no, we need to go after it now. So who are going to go to make this culture better, make this team better? That's the guy we're targeting to be better in pick and rolls, because they didn't have that guy at the point guard position in the last couple of years.
And you know what it is? Every time the Knicks have a pick and that pick isn't something completely shiny,
Right.
or like, oh,
That's
like,
a good
oh,
point,
it
yeah.
gets poo-poo so
Yeah.
quick. Oh, that's horrible. Look, we're always a mess. I'm like, there's actually strategy to that. And look,
There better be.
like, there has to be. And I truly do believe that the Knicks have to try to find, they have to go out and get Donovan Mitchell. I believe,
agree.
I believe Leon Rose and that Worldwide West, I believe like their jobs are on the line with making a move, because they've compiled the assets. Fan base has been patient. They made a run. They dropped off that run, but they gave Julius Randle that deal. People were questioning whether he deserved that type of money. So
That kicks
like,
in this season.
like, how do you make a move to get a guy like a Donovan Mitchell to be paired in the backcourt with a guy like a Jalen Brunson, or use him as an asset?
Or if you decided on Jalen Brunson above Donovan Mitchell, and that doesn't work out, and Donovan Mitchell goes somewhere else and continues to be a superstar, and people are going to say you had a chance with assets to go get a better guard when it comes to Donovan Mitchell, and you decided with, let's be honest, a safe pick when it comes to Jalen Brunson, and if that safe pick doesn't work out and Donovan Mitchell is traded somewhere else, which seems more likely from the Utah Jazz, then you're really talking about somebody's jobs where they're going to have heads are going to roll.
Agree. I'm saying, talking off the Jalen Brunson thing, I remember watching Jalen Brunson at Villanova. I would have bet everything that there would have been no way I would have ever seen him to be $100 million player coming out of Villanova. Like, props to you, Jalen Brunson.
Amen.
Get your bag. The amount of money out here I've been seeing give away over the last couple of weeks has me
Ridiculous.
clutching my pearls, and I ain't even got no pearls to clutch, man. I'm talking about Jokic got 270,
Keep
Bradley Beal 250,
Keep going.
Cat 224,
Keep going.
D Book out in Phoenix 224.
Come on, Pastor
Ja
Williams.
Morant, rookie extension 193.
Bring it home.
Zion Williamson,
Come on now.
5-year extension 231.
Uh-huh.
Man, I should have been born in 97, 98.
How much could Jay Will command on the open market?
I don't know, man. I'm not even trying to do that to myself. I'm trying to remain positive out here. I mean, breaking stuff here at ESPN. They should have never given him the money.
They should have never given Jay Will that kind of money.
Ooh, they gave me the money. Y'all thought Key was bad. Man.
Can you imagine that? We'll just leave that alone.
Ooh.
Your calls
I'm
right now.
buying networks.
You are the network.
Freddie be like, hey, what's going on? You can call me
Exactly.
CEO.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams, Freddie.
JWN, the J-Will Network.
You get a car. Yates, you get a car. Pat, I don't know if you get a car yet.
Don't give Alan Yates a car. Just give Alan Yates sunshine. Just give him that. Give him warmth and sunshine.
Sunblock.
Little sunblock too. Gotta keep
There's
it pristine.
a lot of JW40 from that standpoint. When it
Pat,
comes
you
to
would get
Alan.
a car, Pat. You would get a car.
What kind of
What
car?
kind of car would you go for, Pat?
Yeah.
You get a car, your selection. What kind of car would you go for?
I have no idea.
He's not prepared.
Not a car.
He's not prepared.
It's gotta start with
I need Pat to be like
Malibu.
Jeremy Lin. When your number gets called, be ready. Get your $60
there.
million deal. Yates, what kind of car would you get?
Not something foreign, because if something goes wrong, then I can't really handle it. So
Okay.
That's
Get
not
a-
a better
that's
answer
not
than
an
that.
That's not a better answer
That's not
either.
a, you said what you
better
would
than
not
that.
do. That's not really like an answer,
Cause
though.
Jay
I
will-
would take like a Audi or something.
Okay.
Stop.
I'm chilling.
And,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
Under the radar, but luxury high.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Then. I like the incognito.
Luxury high.
I like the
high.
Yeah, I like the incognito from that standpoint.
Pat
I'm with
looks
that.
angry in the background.
I'm
Have
with
you
that.
came up with an answer yet, Pat?
Yeah.
What about a nice Tesla?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're you're a
Yeah.
Tesla guy, huh?
There you
I
go.
don't know.
He just threw it out there just because he just happened to see that on social media. He just threw that out there. It
he's
just
smart.
came across his Twitter feed, and that's what he decided to do. 888 say ESPN 888-729-3776. We threw it out there about 10 minutes ago. Give or take a lie or two. Which superstar benefit the most from teaming up with Kevin Durant, who's made his demands known to the Brooklyn Nets to get him out of there? Jay in Houston. What superstar benefit the most from having Kevin Durant teaming up with him, and why?
I'm going to go with Devin Booker, and I'll say because I feel like they're just missing that extra piece right now, especially with having Chris Paul. We know Chris Paul is a leader and everything like that, but we also know that for some reason Chris Paul is kind of like, James Harden in a sense. He kind of disappears a little bit in the playoffs. He doesn't play up to par, and then we don't know if he's going to get injured or not, if the hamstring is going to hold up. And so I just believe that they have KD there. He gives them that extra oomph that they need to put them over the top.
I ain't mad at you about that, Jay. One of the things people don't recognize about CP3, man, CP3's legitimately like 6'1.5", 6'2".
Okay.
Like, so his body ends up breaking down. It's one of those things, Freddie, that you need to actually see and experience. Like, I'm 6'2", and most people like 6'1.5". All right, like I might have elevated myself a little bit. It's just natural, 6'2.5", maybe.
Ramp up to 6'2".
But what happens is
Tighten up.
when you go on, you're out here around normal, you're like, oh, you're Jay, you're kind of tall. You go out there on the court, you start seeing those dudes, like you recognize, like, and how strong the game is, like where CP3 gets hit all the time. That cumulative effect does break him down. So I agree with Jay. With his leadership, with the way D-Book plays, with Kevin Durant, it makes it hard because I feel like Brooklyn would want D-Book in exchange, but maybe getting Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, and a lot of picks may be there.
Yeah,
may be there.
It's funny you
They
mentioned
probably
that.
have one of the best shots.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because people don't realize with Steph Curry being 6'3", and people saw the way he bulked up, and Draymond Green even made it a point to mention that, saying he had to because he's going to kind of play that kind of game, not just being that outside shooter, but even get to the lane. You got to armor your body. And we saw that come out to full effect with Steph Curry, the way he was able to play downhill against a physical Boston team, able to turn that series around in favor of Golden State because his forays to the hoop, he was getting bumped, but he was not worse for the wear compared to a guy like Chris Paul, who I thought got worn down in the Dallas series, and they hunted that matchup in Game 7 of that series.
I mean, you take it to football. I mean, like, hanging out with Tyreek Hill, I'm like, yo, man, how do you, like, you out here mini. Like, you were mini, like Tua, you were mini. And then I see Travis Kelce or I see Gronk, I'm next to them. I'm like, yo, you are not mini. Like, what is, I'm not even talking about, defensive linemen, O-linemen.
Sure.
Like, some of these dudes, man, I played against Julius Peppers in college. I was like, yo, you ain't hitting me.
Not at
You
6'6",
ain't, not like
280.
that. And I see that translate to the Bears when he played for there. I was like, okay, now I see what his true mission was.
He had a mission to please,
Oh, my
and
God.
not you from that standpoint. Dave in Jersey City, which superstar benefit the most from teaming up with Kevin Durant, and why?
I would say Jason Tatum, but I wish Durant would have continued to mentor Cam Thomas, because Cam was like basically under his wing and looked up to him highly. And also Durant, receive and stay with Brooklyn if you can. But I think Jason Tatum, and one question, Phoenix, the 3, 4, and 5 spot is not on a championship level. So I appreciate you guys for taking my call. You guys have a wonderful day.
Hold on, Dave. So you don't like Brown with Tatum, even though they got to the World the world championship? You don't like that?
No, I think Tatum and Durant would be great. I think it's like you gambling, but I would trade in the car. I would trade Brown and Smart. I would trade the car and then bring Durant in for those, let's say, about 2-3 years. I think they would be awesome because you're not losing your big men. You're not losing Williams, and hopefully Holford will give you what he gave you in that last game when he played harder than all the rest of the Celtics. Holford, the old man, played hard.
I'm with you, Dave. I don't know if I want to do that with KD at 33. He has another 4 years left.
Yeah.
But my assets are so young. Man, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have something special. And I know that Kevin Durant is even more special. But I feel like if I were Brad Stevens, I'm good with keeping things the way they are. I just added Malcolm Brogdon. I like my core. Robert Williams is going to be healthy. Like I like what we just did and where we're going.
Because I see his point because we saw how he was able to be mentored by Kevin Durant, part of the Olympic team. And Jason Tatum even talked so much about how much he learned about going about things. And I think that's what's maddening about Kevin Durant, that you have that inside of you where guys will respect what you have to say and what you do, and how Jason Tatum's able to transfer that and helping the Boston Celtics get to the NBA Finals. And I think this is so maddening about Kevin Durant that when he has a chance to do that with an NBA team, he'd rather do it for an Olympic team with younger players and not do it for a team that he's currently employed by. Whether it comes to Brooklyn, Golden State. We couldn't do it in Golden State. I get that.
I think
But
he
with
did
Brooklyn,
do it in Brooklyn. He just that relationship with
good
Kyrie
marketing.
made it different because I know how
That's
KD is
fair.
with other players. Like he was a mentor. It
That's
was
fair.
different with him and Kyrie leading the charge.
especially the friendship thing kind of overtook what they were
I
trying
mean, you
to
heard
do.
Kyrie when the season's over. He's like, at the end of the day, Joe Tsai, Sean Marks, KD, and I are going to have to figure out where we want to take this franchise.
Right, and
I'm
that
like,
did
wow.
but that did not fly with Josiah, Sean Marks from that standpoint. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max and ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. LS in Virginia, 888 say ESPN, 888-729-3776. Which superstar would benefit most from teaming up with Kevin Durant and why?
Thanks for having me on the show.
Sure.
I love y'all show. Can we give Dame Lillard some love?
Yeah, man.
Can Kevin go out there and help him?
I'm with you. It's about them figuring out what that trade package looks like in order to get that one done. Like I said before, I think Brooklyn is going to hold a lot of teams, hostage to this because of what the market dictated for Rudy Gobert, and they are going to want more. But I got it. I mean, that picture that Dame kind of floated out there via tweet-wise when that stuff happened, him and KD and that Portland Trailblazer. There's a little bit of that Rasheed Wallace in KD, too, that I'm like, kind of
I never
fits
heard
with
that
that
before.
demeanor.
Oh, explain
Like,
that. I never heard that before.
She kind of had that, like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. I'm
Right.
gonna tell you the way I want to tell it to you.
Right.
And there was a severe edge there.
Okay.
And KD kind of has that. That kind of fits that Portland Rip City type demeanor with Dame.
Okay, which is what they need.
Their demeanors fit that.
Yeah, but by the way, Damian Lillard doesn't need love. He needs help. I mean, he gets all love he wants from his family and the Modelo commercials. He needs somebody that is like that.
So I get it from a basketball perspective because that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
There's something, and maybe it's my own thing that I gotta, find a way to work through.
Sure.
It's because that's Dame's team, though, right? So I'm still seeing KD go to somebody else's team,
Right.
Like that's
Again.
the part again. So like that I guess because being part of the media and having people that use that to and it doesn't negate his greatness to me.
Absolutely.
But people will use that as a factor to do so.
Yeah. Lawrence in Connecticut, which superstar benefit most from teaming with Kevin Durant and why, my friend?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I just want to say that I think Joel Embiid and Maxey with KD would be huge. I know this can't really happen, but if they could switch Harden for KD, that would be huge.
Great call, Lawrence.
Of course, Pat Costello, the Philadelphia fan.
What am I getting though from Brooklyn? I'm getting picks. I'm not taking Tobias Harris. Y'all can keep that deal.
You're going to take that.
No.
What did he
I'm
say?
a Knicks
Take
fan,
that,
and I
take
wouldn't
that.
do it. You just want them to
Y'all
take it
trying
out.
to get somebody to take Tobias
that.
Harris's
And
deal.
by the way, leave the pride of Long Island alone when it comes to Tobias Harris. He's gone through enough as it is.
Shout out to his dad for negotiating that deal for him.
Hey,
Him and Charlie Grantham.
Sometimes Daddy knows.
They got it done.
Daddy knows.
They got it done. But I hear how that sounds. But if you're Brooklyn, are you going to take James Harden back after the way he got out.
If Kyrie's not there,
If Kyrie's
baby.
not there, now you try to take it. It just.
But in terms of superstar matching up, their games will be compatible. And if you're Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid does not mind being the biggest line in the forest.
I mean, the real question, I guess, if you're Nets, do you trade Ben Simmons?
See, that's one thing we have not mentioned that has to be discussed in terms of what is going to, because if Ben Simmons didn't want to be on the court in Game 4 with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, what is that going to look like when both of those guys are not going to be there this upcoming season?
That's a mystery in basketball, man. I do not know the answer to that. I do not know. I don't. It's like trying to predict how Kyrie is going to move has been one of the most challenging things to do.
Good luck with that.
And it's similar with Ben Simmons. I don't know what they're thinking or how they're rationing things.
Although I will say this, and not defending him, I wonder what Ben Simmons is thinking right now in terms of, man.
Well, he deleted his IG.
Well, then I guess
he
we
deleted his IG. Literally.
So he's been more. Never mind. I'm just going to leave that whole thing alone. You're going to find out two things that Jay does not want to see when it comes to Kevin Durant.
Dealing with Kyrie again probably isn't on the list either. Kyrie Irving focused on forcing his way to Lakers amid Kevin Durant news. Kyrie Irving. Nets, Lakers talking Kyrie Irving-Russell Westbrook trade. Why the Nets' impending implosion was worth the wager on the Kyrie Irving-Kevin Durant pairing. It's Kevin Durant's other trade that will haunt his career forever. The Nets sacrificed it all for Kevin Durant and look where it got them. We don't know where Kyrie Irving will be traded, but we know that he wants to be a Los Angeles Laker. Both Stephen A. Smith and Brian Windhorst said as much on ESPN's airwaves on Thursday, after the bombshell news that Kevin Durant has asked for a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving is telling everyone he plans go to LA, meaning the Lakers, as soon as he possibly can, Smith said. The likelihood is he'll have to go through this season, and then when he becomes a free agent after this season is over, he plans on rejoining LeBron James in a Los Angeles Lakers uniform. They'll have about $70 to $80 million under the cap. They'll use it on Kyrie Irving, or so he believes. Windhorst concurred that Irving's plans are to take his talents to Tinseltown. Kyrie Irving is focused on forcing his way to the Lakers, according to multiple ESPN reporters. Kyrie Irving is focused on forcing his way to the Lakers, according to multiple ESPN reporters. Kyrie Irving is out of town as fast as he possibly can, and he is focused, as Stephen A. said, on forcing himself to the Lakers, Windhorst said. In talking to league executives over the last couple of hours, the value of Kyrie Irving in a trade has absolutely plummeted. They know he's going to be a pure rental. If he doesn't want to go to the situation he is traded to, it's unclear what he'll do. As Stephen A. has said many times, he hasn't even been motivated to play in places he's wanted to play, let alone ones he doesn't. Get the latest updates on all NBA free agency signings and rumors with the New York Post's live coverage. In a different segment, Windhorst also floated the idea